A two, a one, cock-a-doodle-doo.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome back to another episode of Misfits and Gravy. I am your boy, Big Papa Plump, aka Machine Gun Belly, aka TMak.
And I'm your boy, Meta World Thief, aka Meta World Breakfast.
What up, Meta? Happy Wednesday. How are you, sir?
Doing all right, doing all right. It's a bit
Yeah,
nippy, but other than that,
it's a bit nipply out. Sure is. Good morning, friends.
Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear.
Lend me your I am Spartacus. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning, albeit very, very cold. But what are you going to do? It's about 60 degrees in my house this morning, threw the heat on, so I'm ready to get myself cranking. But it's been an all right week so far, man. No complaints. I hope all of the metasexuals out there having a great day too.
Bad.
Do you like that name for your followers, the metasexuals?
It's already the name, bro.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I made it.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Good conversation. Fair enough. That was.
Ah, mm.
What do we call my followers? Non-existent.
Big Macs.
Well, I like that. They are officially Big Macs, or call them the Leviathans.
Call
I got
that
to
call.
sponsor. I got to sponsor a little league team and call them the Leviathans this year.
People think that's so creepy because you don't have kids of your own. They're like, is he just trying to buy in to hang around with these kids?
Trying to buy and hang out. That's actually funny. I didn't think about that. Would that be weird if you didn't have a kid and you sponsored Little League?
Wouldn't that be weird if you didn't have a kid and you went to Chuck E. Cheese every day for lunch?
That's a good one. That's true. They do have good pizza, but I'm with you. That would definitely be a little odd.
Yeah, odd future for sure.
Odd Future. I like Odd Future. Are you a fan?
Not particularly. They're fine. I just,
Yeah, they're not that. Who's that band I can ride my bike with? Oh, it's the Flowbots. I always get them confused with the Flowbots.
never even heard of the Flowbots. So,
I can ride my bike with no handlebars. That's the Flowbots.
uh, can you do that? I'm a grown man and I still have never done that.
I can. I used to BMX as a kid. I used to have a Haro. I was a big BMX guy, big fan. And yes, I did learn to do that.
Nice.
The secret is to keep pedaling.
Oh, wow.
That's the
Shocking.
secret. That's pretty much it. You just keep pedaling. But yeah, I used to love BMXing back in the day, bro.
And then you have your friend riding on the pegs.
I used to put myself on the pegs, and that's how I used to ride. So I go from the seat to the pegs to the seat to the pegs. Oh, I thought it was real cool back in the day, bro. We used to have a little gang. I told you we used to be called the Pingree Pilgrims. Be a little rap group, and we BMX around all day. It was after school. It was time, you know. It was being in New Hampshire.
That's, what is it? Magic hour? The time between you get let out of school and the time when your parents come home from work?
Exactly, yo, exactly. Until 8 a.m. came around. That's what we
Yeah.
would do every day. Go bike down to the Burger King. Uh, those are good days, bro. Those were good times. But every time has its own special moments and memories. You don't always realize it when you're there. But that was definitely one. I really liked BMX and I took to it and liked it. And then I hurt myself, and that was the end of that game.
Mm. I'm not surprised you would like a sport in which you have to roll around. I'm sorry, I went for it.
I'm not sure I get it. Help me out. Is it a pig joke?
It's a wheels joke,
A wheels joke.
and then you roll. I don't know. I tried.
Okay,
I tried. It's early. Darn it.
to Norm Macdonald. My doctor's not very nice. He told me to. He said, open your mouth and say oink.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald's hilarious, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen one of my favorite YouTube clips is of him at the YouTube award shows. He didn't want to do it, and I don't know if they made him or whatever, so he shows up in sweatpants and just makes a complete mockery of the whole thing. If you haven't seen it, it's so funny.
I'm not really sure they can make him do anything.
It's so good. It's classic, but he's one of he's a favorite of mine. I think a lot of inspiration from him. I think he's got an interesting style, and of course, his moth joke is the thing of legend. So he's got a few jokes like that.
Any big news on the sporting front since we last spoke?
Yes, Patriots lost again, as you well know. I got some good feedback about our episode. I think people like when I get hammered, and we chat about football and we decompress. So maybe we'll do that again. But yeah, the Patriots lost. Tom Brady also lost. So those two teams, obviously, the Buccaneers seem to be in a much better spot, but it seems like those two without each other are not as good as those two with each other, right? But the Celtics draft passed. We talked about that. And is there a new episode of Rec League Heroes up yet?
Not yet, but the news I was referring to is Gordon Hayward leaving your Boston Celtics.
Yes, thank goodness. Gordon Hayward has left. Not a bad player, it just didn't work out. So it does happen. He got hurt, of course, that ugly injury, very early on in his first game with his leg that pretty much snapped on live TV that everybody saw. But it just didn't work. But he's like the third max player to leave Boston. So it's interesting. Him and Kyrie Irving and who was it? Al
Horford.
Big Al, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. And I know they signed Jeff Teague. They've made a couple moves, but they're not in the best of spots, I must say.
Yeah, it might be addition by subtraction. Some would say you never even got him.
We did. We got a version of him.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like that, but it is what it is. It's what, could have been. But seemed like a nice enough guy. It just didn't really fit our scheme. But they did sign the 19-year-old Jason Tatum to a ridiculous contract. So you got Tatum and you got
He's
Brad.
not 19.
He's not?
He's like 23, bro.
I thought he was 19.
This is his fourth year in the league. He was drafted at 19.
Oh, he was drafted at 19. Oh, for some reason, I thought I even tweeted it out. I was like, isn't he like 19?
That would mean he was 16 playing in the NBA.
He was born in 1998. So yeah, so he's 22. My bad. So Babe Ruth and Jason Tatum.
They were walking down by the river and saw a guy painting a fence.
Saw a guy painting a fence, and they said, "Hey, Meta, what's the weather supposed to be like today?"
Well, it's funny you ask because I have it right here. New York City weather, currently 49 with a high of 58, partly cloudy. Boston weather, currently 35 with a high of 48, mostly cloudy.
With a high of me. Got him.
48, mostly cloudy. Yes.
Some sun. Starting to get real cold out around here, though. Starting to get those that West Coast itch where I'm like, why do I live here again where the air hurts?
Brace yourself, winter's coming.
That it is. I never could get into that show. I tried to watch the first season, and I got till that dude pushed somebody out a window, and there was like some weird scene going on between brother and sister. I don't know. That was about as far as I made it. But in the first episode, those winter dudes freaked me out, man.
Yeah, I'm yet to see an episode. Once you got dragons, I'm out.
See, usually dragons that you'd think I'd be in. Like I like things that are fantastical.
Fantastical?
What was that word I made up on the podcast that you told me about yesterday? See if we can remember that so I can use that. I'm going to trademark that. I'm going to make it my slogan.
A slogan.
Yes, a slogan and a logo mixed is a slogan. I've created many words. I have my own dictionary. It's spelled D-I-C-K. I knew you were going to say that.
No, I
All
was
right.
thinking something better than that. That was low hanging fruit.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. I think there was a thesaurus joke in there, maybe.
Thesaurus joke. When was the last time you made a thesaurus joke? It's been a while.
Um, the Encyclopedia Fatanica. That's stupid.
Why is abbreviation such a long word?
It's a good question. It kind of defeats the purpose, right?
You'd think it takes a long time to say.
Yeah, that's like when people abbreviate things in text message where I'm like, bro, you just chopped a letter off. That's all. It's not even worth it.
Not worth it. That's true, but at least it's faster. Somewhat light. Abbreviation is just a long word for something. It should be short. This is prime time morning talk right here. I know these people woke up wanting to hear about thesauruses and wanting to hear about abbreviations. So I think we're killing this right now. Wow. Meta, what are you up to for the rest of the week?
I got a thing that I'm doing a little bit later today. Nothing serious.
What kind of thing?
I'm if I could have told you, I would have told you.
Are there other meta?
I'm working on a song for Coda from the North. I'm mixing his vocals. That should be
Nice.
fun. What's the name of the song again? Totally spacing on it, but it's dope.
Totally spacing on it, but it's dope. It's a good name. I like that. It's different.
Yeah, it's more of an indie rock type sound than he's
That's cool.
ever had before.
And is that a little different for you too? Some of the stuff you do.
Not really. I've done indie rock. It's just been a while since I've had anyone to work with on that type of music. So you probably haven't heard it. I haven't really been playing anything similar to that, but yeah, I made my bones in indie rock back in the day.
You get any beats on hand you could play us?
Do not, sir. I do not.
All
But
right,
you could
we
check
should
out
do
Meta
that.
World Sessions
I would
on
love
the
to.
on
Ooh,
the
yeah.
Meta World Thief.
Did you have a new one yesterday?
That's a different podcast. That's the Control Save podcast. What that is it's me freestyling for about 10 minutes over beats that I made.
I like that one yesterday a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should put together some beats so these people can listen to some things here in the morning sometimes. Let me see something real quick because I want to see.
You want to check the file?
No, I want to see if Joey's up. Hold on. Let me know if we can hear this. Let's see what Joey's up to this morning.
Yeah. There you go.
Please leave your message for 978888889.
Not letting you get
Don't. Yeah,
the last of those 4 digits, but I am going to let you hear my voicemail.
Holy Christ.
Joseph, this is the Biscuits and Gravy podcast calling, the Misfits and Gravy podcast calling, Big Papa Plump. I'm with Meta World Thief. We were calling live on air to say hello and to see if you got that rash taken care of. Give me a shout. Bye. I got rid of the last 4 digits, bro. Didn't I? I hope so. I hope we get spam call. That would be kind of funny in a way. I hope not, actually.
Yeah, it's an unnecessary dicey move.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. The guy can't even have his own voicemail recorded. We should start recording voicemails for people. That would be an interesting little angle for us, right?
I don't believe in leaving voicemails.
I agree, which is why my mailbox is full. I also don't believe in listening to voicemail. So there you go.
No, I don't. Jesus, I don't think I've checked the voicemail in the better part of 10 years.
If this is a secret you want to keep, you should tell it loud and clear to my voicemail.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I'll never, ever listen to it. It's a shame. They do have like a visual voicemail now, I guess, where you can actually like see and choose and click, and I don't know. It's different. My wife was trying to sell me on it to be like, just listen to your voicemails this way. But I just get anxiety about it. I just don't like it.
Listen, if you got to tell me something, you can text me or you can call me.
This is very true.
You need something from me and I'm supposed to go fetch and request your message? That's not how this works. Put it in a bottle, throw it in the ocean, get it my way, but don't make me retrieve it from voicemail.
Do you think Joey's gonna get our message about Thrash? Do you think he'll listen?
Probably not. 97% of people don't check their voicemail.
You know, that's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. We know JD won't pick up, but I'm gonna try calling him on the side while we're talking here. I have a feeling he's still sleeping.
That's mad rude. This guy works late.
Yeah, it's perfect. You got to get to him first thing in the morning, buddy. You know, eventually people that listen to this podcast that keep messaging us will catch on that we call them during the podcast, and they can be on for short periods of time.
Don't play his phone number.
I won't. It's an 800 number. He used to have the best voicemail where he was pretending to be a cheerleader, and it was my favorite thing in the world. Like, it was absolutely my favorite. He'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. JD, this is the Misfits and Gravy podcast. Metal Mortal Thief and Big Papa Plump calling. We just wanted to call to say have a fantastic day. We are live on the podcast, and you are not available. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for listening. Much love. Bye. Man, I think we're making the world a better place.
Yeah, I think JD's out there sipping Gatorade.
Recovering from the night before?
Possibly.
Definitely possibly. Definitely possibly.
He strikes me as an orange Gatorade kind of dude in general.
I can see that. Did I tell you JD lives next to a Vietnam veteran?
No, you didn't.
So where JD lives is like a cartoon house. I almost can't believe it. It's so there's a guy that lives right next to him that is a Vietnam veteran, and his name's Randy, Vietnam Randy, and he has like a southern twang and sits outside all day and like just kind of harasses people. Like there's another neighbor that's a firefighter that came to the door naked, I guess, while we were there. And Randy's like, "Put some clothes on. I came to tell you that your car has you totaled your car. What'd you do to it?" And he goes out there, and it's just like a dent. Like it's just Vietnam Randy. It's like a real like a show over there. Like you could tape it, and the stories would be endless. But I'm still trying to figure out if he's stolen valor or if he's legit. He showed me on his arm where he'd been stabbed, and he didn't really want to talk about it. So I kind of believe him, but I don't know. It could go either way. It could be 50-50. But Vietnam Randy, if it's true, would be a legend.
Fascinating. Does he have a novel?
He could tell you a novel. He just kept talking into his phone, like he'd be sitting and talking to him, and he'd be like, watch this," and he'd talk to his phone. "How old am I?" And it would say, "You are 52 whatever age," and he'd go, "These new smartphones. I got a friend who drives a bus for Rihanna, and I'm not a big fan of Rihanna, but if I wanted to," that's how he talks. He's absolutely hilarious, though.
I'm absolutely writhing in pleasure over here.
He gave JD his air conditioner, so he's always threatening to repossess his air conditioner. So JD will come and go, "Wow, where you been all day, JD? Over your boyfriend's house? I'm going to go take that air conditioner." You got to meet this guy. We're going to do a traveling podcast to meet Vietnam Randy.
Water, sugar, dextrose, citric acid, salt, sodium citrate. Sorry, folks. I was just reading the back of a Gatorade bottle because I don't give a fuck about Vietnam Randy.
Wow, that was aggressive, but I appreciate the move. That was a good move.
Was 18 minutes and 50 seconds in. I tanked myself with the F-bomb.
You did. It's okay. Eventually, you'll get through it. But I tortured you with a Vietnam Randy story that you didn't want to hear, apparently. So I understand.
And my calls for sarcasm went unnoticed. You just kept going like if I really was into the story.
I try. I try just to keep bowling through, even if people aren't interested. Like, oh, get to the end. Maybe there'll be an interesting part.
And then you do that thing where you don't really know what you're going to say next, so you just start saying extra words that are unnecessary to the story.
Yeah, so that's accurate. Who was it? Was it Dane Cook that had the joke about exaggerating because you realize halfway that the story isn't funny? If I do that, it would be way funnier. He's like, you're at the bar and tell a dumb story, and then you end it with, "So then I got stabbed." Like it takes some weird, like crazy direction.
I actually really miss going to the bars.
Do you? Why is that?
There's nothing like getting drunk with strangers and finding a reason to bond with each other.
I could see that. I'm sure you have some interesting stories too, being in the city.
Yeah, man, stories all the time. What I do pre-COVID, my favorite neighborhood bar went under. It was like my local Cheers type spot, and it skewed older. Most of the people who went there were like in their 50s. They were all regulars, and that place actually went out of business maybe a few months before COVID. So that was unfortunate.
Now, is this in Sydney, Australia, where the koalas are?
Australia,
We shouldn't dox you. You're right. We shouldn't.
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Are you close to the Melbourne Theatre?
That's the Sydney Opera House.
Are you close to where they shot Finding Nemo 2?
Let's just say I'm close to where they shot JFK. I'm closer to where they shot JFK than to where they shot Finding Nemo 2 right now because I'm an international baller, shot caller.
Which was Monday, right? It was the anniversary of JFK. We know that because of Joey.
Oh, that's right.
Still sleeping, who's enjoying his little sleep right now.
Sleepy pies.
Little sleepy pies. Everybody's sleeping this morning. If you want us to call you, please do send us a message. Send us a tweet. Send us a Facebook. Send us a smoke signal. And you may be a part of this. And we may call you in the morning just to say hello.
Carrier Pigeon, Pony Express, Western Union, Telegraph, Singing Telegraph. Let us know.
I messaged myself some jokes.
Oh, so you sent yourself a dick pic?
And I wanted to see if you liked these. I sent myself a dick pic. That's actually kind of funny because you always text yourself and then you're surprised when it comes in 2 seconds later. So that
Wait, you send yourself dick pics?
No. I mean, like, you know how when you text yourself like a joke or you text yourself something to remember, then your phone goes off a second later and you check it, and you're all like, "I wonder who messaged me." Does that happen to you?
I guess, because you know what I do? I send a lot of emails back and forth to myself so I can access things on Gmail no matter where I'm at.
Oh, okay. So that's smart. That's smart. I should perhaps do that. Yeah, I text myself jokes from wherever I am, and then a second and a half later when it dings. So if you sent yourself something unexpected, at least you get a little laugh a second and a half later when you think it's somebody else for a split second.
Jokes with yourself are the best kind of jokes.
I would agree with that. I met a guy on Craigslist, and I met a guy on Craigslist, and when we met up, he said, "Hey, my name is Greg." So you got to really be careful out there.
Wait,
because it's Craigslist. Fuck it. That's a weird joke. It's an odd one. You really got to come at that one sideways to get that one. That's all right. Because Craigslist is just full of guys named Craig, isn't it?
Yeah, I went to meet a guy called Craigslist. Turns out all lists aren't good. Schindler, you set me up for failure.
Schindler, you set me up with failure is actually way better. Schindler,
you can have that one.
Up with failure. Thanks, Schindler's List. Who was it? I think it was Miss Pat that said she discovered that movie. She bought, stole a DVD player, and that movie was in there, and she didn't realize that it was history. She thought that movie was like fake.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, man! I don't know where she went. I think she had a terrible agent, but she was funny for a while.
Who, Miss Pat?
Yeah, she had.
Bro, she's bigger than she's ever been. She signed a deal.
Is that a fat joke?
Bro, they're currently shooting the first season of a TV show based about her life, produced by Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels, the guy from The Butler.
I definitely didn't know that.
She sells out whenever she travels for comedy. She just put out her book, Rabbit.
She put out Rabbit? Yo, I wanted to read that, but I didn't know it was out yet.
She has a podcast that's growing.
I know nothing about that. I just knew that her circuits that she was running, she said that her agent told her not to do podcasts, and I had not heard that one and thought that was bad advice, and then never really heard her again on the circuits of podcasts I listened to. So that is really good to know. I recommend those people go check that out. She's got an incredible amount of stories, and she's hysterical. I saw her when she came to Boston right before Trump got elected, and it was hilarious to watch her go at that room. It was, my wife didn't know anything about her, and we were cracking up. We were crying. She's really, really funny, and it's a really, really cool story. But yeah, she didn't know Schindler's List was history, that it happened. So that they like thought her and her sister were like critiquing it, like, why wouldn't these people just run? And then her husband, sat her down and told her, your favorite movie is actually based on real events that happened.
Yeah, there are a lot of moments like that on the podcast. She's pretty ignorant, and while very street smart, she definitely has like a fourth grade education. Like she doesn't know about entire wars and stuff like that.
I could see that. I could see that. My parents put me into the workforce, so I can understand that. I got a similar little cutoff, but yeah, the things she talks about are pretty hysterical, especially words she hasn't heard of before.
Her stories selling crack are great.
They are. She got shot in the nipple.
Yeah,
I got shot in the nipple, and I got hit by a dump truck.
let's just keep running all of Miss Pat's lines.
Everybody always says, I don't want to know who shot you. Who hit you with a dump truck?
Yeah.
Quite funny. A couple kids by the age of 13. This has been a great thing that you let me know that. I did not know that, but I'm gonna go pick up that book ASAP because I'm dying to read that.
Well, the best part is you haven't heard her podcast, so you could like binge that joint.
That I could. What's it called? I'll have to go find it.
The Pat Down.
The Pat Down, bro. That's so good. I don't know how that hasn't crossed my into my world yet.
She doesn't have a good team. Also, she's incredibly ignorant as well. Also, you get the vibe 100%. She does the podcast because she has a producer and a co-host, and she's the type of person to count down. She can't wait till it's done so they could leave. They do like 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah, they do like 2 or 3 podcasts in a day, which you can tell because they'll continue the same stories from last week and the next week. So, I mean, I think, look, she doesn't have the passion for the podcast and all the digital marketing that a younger person will have, nor does she have the the know-how. So I think all of that together, and then she's so old school. I imagine her, she thinks that this TV show is the biggest thing ever. This TV show is going to get canceled in its first season, like every other comedian's TV show about their life. And then she's not going to have any social media.
Darn, you think so, huh? You don't think it has legs?
Which one did? Martin?
Fresh off the boat.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Fresh off the boat was hysterical too.
I also wouldn't say it was a show about him though. The way that these are character driven, like Miss Pat's going to be in every scene. It's going to be the Miss Pat show or
okay,
whatever.
yeah. I mean, I don't even think he was on that show, or rather, wasn't on the show.
Well, his character was.
Yeah, in the childhood days.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's another great show.
What about Bill Burr's show? That was about his life, right? The cartoon he's doing?
No, that's F is for family. That's something different.
Isn't that like kind of the family he grew up in, about his family? No?
Yeah, but that's not a sitcom being led by one person named after Bill Burr.
Fair enough. Do fat people do sitcoms more often?
Yeah, they also do Laycons.
Do you know that's why there are no mass shootings by fat people, because they have to be active?
Yeah.
No, active.
Actually, isn't every shooting by a fat person a mass shooting?
A mass shooting? That's actually awesome. I've never thought of that one. That one's pretty good. Bravo to you, sir. You are on this morning. I'm impressed.
Bang, bang.
Did you have your espresso, your coffee?
This is how we do
it. This is how we do it.
No, I don't have coffee because the people who run my building cut off my water for the second time this week. It's outrageous.
You can cut off water?
Yeah, I guess they're doing some building-wide maintenance, but yeah, that wasn't good when Daddy Thief went to go make some cocoa. Actually, coffee, not cocoa. I just realized how that sounds like something else. Yeah, it's a rough one out here.
And I got you, and there wasn't any water.
And there wasn't any water.
That would drive me insane. Yeah, when are you supposed to get your water back?
By 5.
Dang, son.
Also, they duped us because they announced it would be cut off from 9 to 5. This was off at 8 when I had to go take my morning. It's nonsense.
That is pretty nonsense. I would not be happy with that. But you know what? These are the things you got to live with when you're a koala and you live in Australia. So,
I live in New York. I'm from Australia.
gotcha. I didn't know if that was canon on the show. So, you are a koala in New York. That's official.
Yeah.
People are going to want you down. You know, you're the only koala in New York. I think you're going to be hard to find.
I'm just trying to live my best Sex in the City life. Call me Kerry.
I can't believe you just admitted that you're the only koala living in New York. This is going to really open you up to a lot of publicity, a lot of paparazzi.
There are other ones. They just live in the zoo.
Oh, that's true. Do you visit them ever?
Nah. It's kind of a tense situation at the Bronx Zoo.
Oh my God, I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah, it's I tried to get in. The board rejected me. I don't like their zoo anyway.
I like how you applied. What are your qualifications? Well, I am a koala.
Mm-hmm.
I see other koalas. So, yeah. You being a koala version of Ted might be my favorite thing in the world.
How many animals in there do you think have a successful podcast, let alone 3 successful podcasts?
Just show up, you're the top. Y'all ain't got a podcast, dude.
I'm the number 1 ranked animal podcaster in the world.
That is true. You are the number 1 podcasting koala. That is true. Fact.
Yeah.
It's Meta World Thief. It's not Meta Local Thief. You know what I mean? You're worldwide. You're Mr. Worldwide.
The OG, Mr. Worldwide.
You are the OG Mr. Worldwide checking in.
Now, how do we check out TMak? Anything you want to leave the people with? Any gems? Start their day?
Yeah, here's my gems. Go back on your Facebook account. Go back on your Twitter account. Go back on whatever account and realize that 2 years ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, your life was completely different, but you still had complaints, right? The things you took for granted, such as being able to go and get with your friends and hang out and go to a concert and go to a bar, you still had those things that seem now a dream away. But hopefully, when things get back to somewhat normal, or even right now, you'll look at the things that if they were taken away, that would really suck and that you would really miss. So let's say our internet all got throttled and we didn't have this ability to connect and talk anymore. We'd really miss each other. We'd really miss the internet. You know, there are a million examples. But wake up today, list what you're grateful for while you're in the shower, you're doing your thing. List it out, say it out loud, confirm it in your head, and realize that you were complaining just as much without COVID as you are.
Here's what I say. Don't list it out. Don't use nearly as many words as TMak uses when you speak with your loved ones, because that shit is infuriating. Anarchy, anarchy. What would thief do? Live your life one thief at a time. Bad. I still love you, though, TMak.
That was a much brevity. There was a lot of brevity in that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We're just, you know what? We're just 2 pals running different campaigns.
And that's what makes the world go round. Nobody likes jelly and jelly, bro.
Actually, that sounds delicious right now. A jelly and jelly. I never even thought about that. Grape and strawberry? All right. Anyway, have a good morning, folks. Bye-bye.